In this video, I'm going to be refinishing this console or entryway table. The first step is going to be to clean it from top to bottom and inside and out with TSP. I tried to look up what species of wood this tabletop was made of, and the best I could come up with is rubber wood. But if anyone out there has another idea, please let me know in the comments. As I'm disassembling the piece to make it easier for refinishing, I'm seeing that this piece is made out of solid wood. This piece is quite dark and heavy, so my goal in refinishing is going to be to give it a lighter look, to also give it the appearance of being lighter in weight. As you can see, this piece was made in Malaysia, and while not of high quality, as I mentioned before, it was at least constructed from solid wood. The base of the table is going to be painted, so I'm starting by scuff sanding it with 180 grit sandpaper. Next, I'm going to fill the areas of minor damage with wood filler. Once the wood filler has dried, the patched areas are sanded down smooth with 220 grit sandpaper. This is the first coat of a total of 2 coats of primer to prevent any bleed through. When the coat of primer had dried, I used 400 grit sandpaper to remove any dust nibs that may have settled on the paint. The primer had revealed some minor scratch and dents that I'd missed on the first round, so I'm going back and filling those with wood filler. and then another round of sanding to smooth out those patches. Before applying the second coat of primer, I wiped down the entire piece with a damp cloth to remove any sanding dust. I picked up this paint sample of beige paint, which was just a tad too dark for what I was envisioning, and so I mixed it 50-50 with white paint to lighten it up. Links to the products used in this video can be found in the description section. This is the first coat of paint of a total of 3 coats that I applied to the base of the table. I lightly sanded with 400 grit sandpaper after the first and second coat of paint to remove any dust nibs that might have settled on the paint. I then applied 3 coats of polyurethane to the base of the table, allowing each coat to dry and then lightly sanding before applying the second and third coat. My dog Lily was being very needy this morning, so I let her watch me work. As I mentioned before, I lightly sanded after the first and second coat of polyurethane to remove any dust nibs. I decided to do a paint wash on the top and front drawer of this table. So I'm going to start by removing the existing finish with stripper. If you're enjoying this video, please hit the like button. And if you'd like to see more of this type of content, please consider subscribing or supporting my channel either through buying me a coffee or my Amazon wish list. I apply saran wrap on the stripper to prevent it from drying out while it processes. After 30 minutes, I use a scraper to remove the finish in the stripper. I then apply mineral spirits using 4/0 steel wool to neutralize the stripper and remove any remaining finish. The first round of sanding is started with 120 grit sandpaper. Followed by 180 grit sandpaper. Prior to the last round of sanding, I'm going to use steam to raise the grain in hopes that I will be able to sand out some of these light scratches and dents. The final round of sanding is with 240 grit sandpaper. I'm using wood filler to fill any scratches and dents that remained after the third round of sanding. Finally, I used 220 grit sandpaper and hand sanded the piece to smooth out those areas that I filled with wood filler. Next, I utilized a paint wash, which was a 50-50 mixture of the paint that I used for the base of the piece and water. I quickly wiped back the paint wash, not allowing it to dry, which left a light hue of the paint wash on the piece. I then applied 4 coats of polyurethane, allowing it to dry overnight and sanding in between each coat. The same process was applied to the front of the drawer. However, the color of the wood on the drawer front appeared a bit darker than that from the top. So I decided to try some oxalic acid to see if it would lighten up the color of the drawer front, which ended up working very well. I used Howard's Feed and Wax on the drawer glide in order to help the drawer slide better. The final step is the reassembly of the piece. And here is the completed piece. Thanks for watching.